That's good. What we're talking
And
about,
by the way, one other thing. Once you get me going, I don't stop. But
it's
our
all
little
good.
the concept farm in New York is we're relatively small, but we're 10 years old. It's a great creative company. We do lots of interesting work for ESPN and a whole lot of other different clients. But last year, we were voted as one of the top 20 places to work in New York City.
Wow.
It's another lesson for, the work environment of an ad agency is meant to be creative and stimulating. And the more you can do that, the better work you're going to get out of people.
Right. Well, you were talking a little bit about, you said all the things you've done in your life.
Right.
That's going to be my transition into the next question here, which is you've
Good,
done
good.
actually a lot of things in your life, and in addition to writing the asset-based thinking books, like producing and hosting an Emmy Award winning show. And so
Right.
the question is, what inspired you to produce the television show?
Well, I've done. You're right. I've done a lot of things in my life, and what that came out of in me is I just like to pursue things that challenge me and excite me. And so there's this constant urge to try new things. So when we in our company wanted to do some things that were going to create a new environment for advertising, we decided what we can do is create a television show that will be a perfect vehicle for some advertising for our clients. So we invented a television show called Cool in Your Code. It's all about zip codes, what's hot and cool in zip codes in New York City and other cities. And we had to do it on a budget that was very, very small. We had to create an episode, television shows, 6 of them, on a budget that was 1/10 of what Hollywood or the networks would do. So we said, we'll produce it ourselves, spend our own money. We'll be our own executive producers. And somebody there, and Will Morrison, who's the creative genius behind the show, had an idea for a couple of segments. And he said, we need a host for it. How about you? So I said, all right, why not? So that's how it happened. We just tried
Awesome.
it, and we did it. And guess what? The first year we were on the air, our show was nominated for 3 Emmy Awards. We won 2, and I won the best host interviewer in New York City. Never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that possible, but it all came from believing in yourself, believing in all the great people around you, and saying, give it a try.
Yeah.
Always just give it a try.
When opportunity strikes, right?
That's why
Great.
not?
And then another one is the website that this is for, or it's going to be posted on, centers, or it's partly centers around mentoring kids. And so
Right.
we were going to ask if you had any mentors in your life, and if so, who?
Well, it's a great question, and mentors is one of my favorite words. It just is such an emotionally charged idea because it is people connecting with people, and I've had lots and lots of role models in my life. It's very hard for me to single out one, but what I've treasured throughout my life is having always trying to find people, either in my work, my personal life, or in other things I do for enjoyment, people that I admire and look up to. And then my advice is then look, listen, and learn. And really step into their shoes. And the greatest question you could always do is just ask somebody, wow, how did you do that? Why did you do that? What got you to do that? Ask them questions. And then they will then latch on to your enthusiasm and learn from their answers. And then if you're lucky, somebody will really embrace you and your enthusiasm, take you under their wing, and then they become a mentor to you. And that's the greatest gift that anybody can give you as a young person. And now I'm going to come back and say one other thing. Mentors usually has the connotation of an older person mentoring a younger person. And what I've discovered kind of late in life in my 60s is, boy, it works the other way around.
Yeah.
I am finding that I'm finding mentors who are a lot younger than me, inspiring me and mentoring me. There's a business term for it called reverse mentoring, where people who are digitally savvy are mentoring people of the older boomer generation who aren't. But what I say to people is mentors can come in all shapes, sizes, and ages. So be on the lookout as much as you can and find them. And once you do, it's the best gift you'll ever have.
I see. That's great. That's very cool. We're all trying at Amazing Kids to get kids with good mentors, and it's all really important for starting your journey, your career path. And then this is probably a big one here, but what advice do you have for kids or teens for launching their dreams for a successful, happy, and fulfilled future?
Yeah, that's a big question, and I hesitate to give one answer, but one thing I will say, you said successful, happy, and fulfilled future. Of those three words, the big picture advice I can give you is there's one word in there that's bigger than all of them, and it's happiness. Go for find out, dig down deep in what is going to be your happiness factor, and that happiness for you, the people around you, and the world at large, and find it and understand it, and never lose sight of that. It's the most important of all of that. And once you do that, I've got a couple of points I can tick off for you. Mm-hmm. First thing is trust yourself. Really trust yourself, and that comes with an understanding of yourself. Dig down inside yourself, understand who you are, what makes you tick. Then trust yourself. There's going to be doubts all the time, but cast them out. Try to push them aside as much as you can. 3, real important, be in good company. Surround yourself with good company. Not doesn't always necessarily mean it's people that think exactly like you, but people that are good and are going to be good for you. The next one is important. Be proud. Be proud, act proud, and instill pride in everything you do if you can. And believe in something big. Doesn't mean you're always going to get there, but believe in something big. Then you can also is a great thing I try to tell young people to do, to create your future, whether it's 3 days from now or 3 years from now. There's a technique we have in advertising called storyboarding your commercial or something. Mm-hmm. Try to storyboard your future. Pick out 10 frames of what the next year might look like for you and storyboard it. And then last but not least is have a sense of humor. Smile, laugh at yourself, just like you're doing now. That smile that you're doing brightens things up rather than those frowns.
I'm gonna look back.
Got me on the subject. One more thing that's my plea to all of you. Something I discovered a little later in life. Take 10% of your time, whether it's a week, a day, a month, or however you want to do it, and devote it to volunteering. Volunteer. Do something, whether or not in whatever turns you on, but volunteer to do something good. Give back. That simple act of giving back will return things to you that will be tremendous for you in whatever you do.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention it look good on a resume too.
It does look good on a resume. There's always a practical side of things. You have to be able to write down a lot of times what you did and why you did it.
I'm sure you were talking about laughing at yourself. I'm sure one day I'm going to look back on my phone ringing, and it's going to be hilarious.
No, yeah, but that is good. But there's a thing. The thing about asset-based thinking is that you look what it tries to teach you is to look at all these things as an asset. Whatever comes at you, find it might have been a pain in the, excuse the language, a pain in the butt when that happened.
Right.
But it did create a moment there, and it did register something in you, and that's an asset. You've just been given that.